G'day guys, how's it going? My name's Big Pop, and today I'll be showcasing Excadrill in the Master Premier Cup. Please like and subscribe if you like my content, and tell me below what team you've been running in the Master Premier, or if you've been doing Open Great League. And without further ado, let's hop into these battles. Jumping straight into the first match with Excadrill leading into another Excadrill. So this mirror match isn't too bad. I'm going to mud shot away and then try and farm up to the extra mud shot. Yeah, we sneak through the extra mud shot, which is good for us, and we're going to shield up this incoming drill run. Now we have an energy advantage. We're able to get to two drill runs, but they switch out to a Dragonite, so we have the perfect counter in our Togekiss. Togekiss is absolutely shredding with our charms, and their superpowers and Dragon Claws and Dragon Breaths are doing such little damage to our Togekiss. We're going to be able to farm all the way down and come out with boatloads of energy. In comes another superpower, we assume, or Dragon Claw. Doesn't matter. We're almost at an Aura Sphere, which is pretty awesome. Let's see what comes in next. I'm assuming it's going to be the Excadrill. In comes the Excadrill. We go for the Aura Sphere. Will this land? I would love to land an Aura Sphere on an Excadrill. That'd be so hype. They shield, unfortunately. That doesn't matter. These charms are actually still shredding away at that little steel ground mole. In comes the Rock Slide. Does huge damage. We have two good answers to Excadrill with the shield and energy lead. Dragonite's not the best answer, obviously. In comes Gyarados, so they catch a Drill, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to farm up, switch into Dragonite. Unfortunately, they're not running Waterfall, which I've been finding a lot of Gyaradoses are running. But on this unfortunate case, they're running Dragon Breath, which is doing super effective to our Dragonite. Anyway, we're able to spam out these Dragon Claws. In comes Dragon Claw number 1. Does a good chunk of damage. We're farming down. There's no point shielding Dragonite here. We're just going to save the shield for Exca. Try and farm the Gyarados all the way down with that Mud Shot. In comes the Excadrill. Now we're just going to Drill Run down, and this should be securing us the win. In comes the Drill Run. They go down. Good game. Moseying on along, we have Excadrill into a Dragonite. So this is a pretty good matchup. Although it has become worse since the olden days, when Dragonite didn't have superpower, we can still spam out these Rock Slides at a pace of knots, and it forces them to switch into a Mamoswine. Mamoswine has a great matchup against Exa, so we're going to want to switch out here, but we are going to get off as much energy as possible because we don't need to save the energy for the Dragonite because we have the perfect counter to that in Togekiss. So all we need to do here is keep alignment and try and take advantage of this switch in. So they're going to send in the Avalanche. We're going to shield that, so they're at a shield advantage, but it doesn't matter. We're able to let the Excadrill go down here. It doesn't matter. In comes Superpower. They're debuffed. In comes Togekiss. This should force them to switch out, or they might just, let the baby out with the bathwater. It looks like that's what they're going to do. In comes the Dragon Claw. Does a nice little chunk of damage, and they have a Chandelure in the back. So we do have a great answer to Chandelure with Dragonite. The Dragon Breath is going to do so much damage to that thing. In comes Ancient Power. Gets a shield, and I think they concede the match here. Or they just experience some lag, which is really unfortunate. I hate to see it. We're going to throw up the shield. Take this. That Poltergeist definitely would have KO'd us. Yep, eventually comes in. Would have KO'd us. We just Dragon Breath down. They're going to send back in the... Oh, the lag was terrible recently. Oh my god. Anyway, back comes in Dragonite with Dragon Breath. Good game. Skipping along into the next one, we have Excadrill into a Mamoswine. So this is a horrible lead. Well, it's not horrible, obviously. But it's not the best because Mamoswine does outpace and it does beat us in 2 shield. We're going to stay in here though because I don't really feel safe switching out into either of our Pokemon. I'm anticipating a lot of Metagrosses for the Togekiss, and I'm expecting a lot of Fairies for the Dragonite. So we're just going to send in the Drill Run and try and get this Mamoswine as low as possible and maybe maintain switch if they choose not to shield. In comes the second, we throw the Rock Slide this time. We're going to throw up the other shield. Yeah, we just didn't feel safe switching out here. I had been having a lot of bad switch outs. I'd switch into Togekiss and a Metagross would catch me out. I'd switch into Dragonite, a Togekiss or a Florges would be there. So just playing it safe here. This will be taking us out. This Avalanche will be taking us out. In comes the Avalanche. Does a decent amount of damage. So we come in with Dragonite and we Dragon Breath down. Depending on what comes in now. Okay, it's a Dragonite. So we're going to switch into our Togekiss. And our charms are doing a great amount of damage to that Swampert. Although these Hydro Cannons are super duper spammy, we should be able to take advantage of this matchup. In comes Hydro Cannon number 2. It's a very good thing that Togekiss is so glassy. It can just take so many hits, and we end up getting to an Aura Sphere. I haven't been really keeping check on the shields. Yep, they don't have any shields. The Aura Sphere knocks them out, and now we should be in a good position to take a W if we can get to this Ancient Power. We almost get to the Ancient Power. They're going to have to throw their energy because they were afraid of us reaching that move. And now, can we come in and farm down? We should survive this Dragon Claw. Bearing they don't have Outrage. I don't think they'd have the energy for Outrage anyway. We tank. We come with the Dragon Claw, and this should be KOing that beautiful shiny Dragonite. In comes the Dragon Claw. Good game. Hopping into the next match, we have Excadrill into another Excadrill. So we saw this mirror matchup earlier. what I want to do here is just overfarm and hopefully sneak through the mud shot. There we go, we snuck through the mud shot. We're going to throw up the shield because this Dragonite would be obliterating us. And now we're just going to keep farming up. We're at an energy lead now. We overfarm again. We're going to be double shielding. Now we should be 2 mud shots ahead, assuming my timing's right, which it probably isn't. Yep, they just snuck through a mud shot, which is really unfortunate. In comes the Dragonite though. It comes in, gets the shield. We get to the second Dragonite. We should be getting another shield or KOing that little mole. Come on. Yep, we get the second shield, and then we're going to switch out into Dragonite and see what we're met with. We're met with a Dragon Breath Gyarados, which isn't the best. Obviously, we prefer Waterfall, as I said earlier, but it's still not a bad matchup because we can spam out these Dragon Claws rather quickly, and the Dragon Breath still does great amounts of damage. In comes the Crunch. There's a nice little chunk to the Dragonite. We should be able to get to the Dragon Claw, but unfortunately, we get farmed down. So we're going to come in with Togekiss. We're taking resisted damage from their fast move, and this should only be our Aqua Tail, which isn't the most powerful move in the world, more of a bait move. So they're coming with Exca. This Rock Slide should be getting us into really low health, and we're going to switch into our own Exca. In comes Dragonite. We're going to try and overfarm. Unfortunately, they get to a move. I'm hoping it's a Dragon Claw. It's a Dragon Claw. Can we hang on? We hang on. We get to a Rock Slide. This should be taking out the Dragonite. Fingers crossed. In comes the Rock Slide. Oh, not even close, actually. I wasn't paying attention to how much health that Dragonite had, but can we charm down? We charm down. They come in with their own Excadrill. Can we get to the Aura Sphere? We get to the Aura Sphere with like 1 HP to go. Let's go. That Community Togekiss coming in with the big damage. Good game. Hopping into the next one, we Excadrill into a Mamoswine. So as I said earlier, this isn't the best matchup. They get to these avalanches just so fast. They are winning the 2 shields according to PV Poke. But as I said earlier, I don't feel safe switching out, so we're just going to go for these drill runs. In comes drill number 1. They'll be throwing this first avalanche. This would be doing huge damage if we didn't shield it. And we're just going to keep farming up. We get to the second drill run. Should be doing a nice amount of damage. Hopefully they don't want to go 2 shields down. They don't want to go 2 shields down, so that gets a well-important shield. And then we're going to make a quick switch into Dragonite. Obviously, this isn't the best matchup for Dragonite, taking 4 times effective damage. But we're able to lure out the Primarina. So we're going to keep farming up and just spam out these Dragon Claws and try and get as low as possible. And then I'm assuming we're going to come in with Togekiss and charm down. In comes Dragon Claw number 2. This will be doing a little chip damage, a little tickle to that Primarina. It's quite tanky, great typing. I wish I had a good one. Anyway, we're going to come in with Exca. This will assumingly be the Psychic. So we hang on. We're able to get to the Drillron, which is really important. This will be doing a nice amount of damage, all grabbing a shield. Does a huge amount of damage. My god, Excadrill. Its attack stat is just crazy. It's on roids. Anyway, in comes Togekiss. Can we farm down? We managed to farm down that Mamoswine, which is really important. Now, it's all up to Togekiss. Come on, baby. Can Togekiss carry us to the heavens? Come on, in comes Aqua Tail number 1. Does a nice little chunk of damage. We're going to throw this Ancient Power. Come on, Togekiss. Roro, fight the power. In comes the Ancient Power. Gets the shield. And we get the boost. Come on, Togekiss. This is your game. Can this happen? In comes another Aqua Tail. Gets us low. Can we charm down? Come on, Togekiss. You got this. We can't charm down. Gyarados gets to another Aqua Tail, which is super unfortunate. In comes Exca. I don't think we're going to be able to reach a move. Good game. Drilling into the next game, we have Excadrill into a Primarina. So depending on what fast move this has, this can be good or bad. Let's see. I didn't quite see. I'm assuming they're a Charm one because they switched out. So we're going to farm up a good amount of energy and then switch into our Dragonite. Obviously, we're fearing the Earthquake of the superpower coming from that Snorlax, so we don't want to keep Excadrill in there. And we can body whatever charge moves Snorlax has on the Dragonite. Obviously, we wouldn't want to get Skull Bashed, but we're not assuming anyone's running Skull Bash because you'd be running Body Slam and then Steel Coverage. We're going to throw out this Dragon Claw. This should be doing a nice amount of damage to that big fat boy, that big Snorlax. We're going to shield up here and hopefully take Switch to keep alignment. We're Dragon Breathing away. We're not going to be able to farm down because Snorlax just has way too much HP and defense. So we're going to throw a Dragon Claw. That takes out the Snorlax. Although we had to give up shield advantage, now we have great alignment. So we're going to come in with Exca. We notice they have Charm. We're resisting that with our Steel typing. And we're just going to spam out these Drill runs like nothing else. Come on, Excadrill. In comes Drill number 1. They throw on a Machamp, so we're going to throw another Drill run, hopefully grab a shield. We grab a shield, and then we have the perfect counter in back. Let's go, Togekiss. Bit of redemption for last game. Machamp is going to throw the Rock Slide, so we will shield. I'm assuming it's the Rock Slide. It's the Stone Edge, so even more important I shield, because that would have done devastating damage, because Machamp just has such a crazy attack stat. Now we're going to get to this Ancient Power against the Primarina, force the shield because they have such low HP, and now it's just a Charm off. Good game. Hopping into the next one, we have Excadrill into a Gyarados. So this is a bit of a gamble here. Is it Waterfall? Unfortunately, it's Waterfall. So we're going to have to switch out into Dragonite, and we're met with a Snorlax, which we don't really mind because our Dragon Claws are doing huge amounts of damage. Our Dragon Breaths are doing huge amounts of damage, and the Body Slams are doing, you know, a little moderate amount of damage. So now we're at 2 and a bit Dragon Claws. We're going to start firing these off. In comes Dragon Claw number 1. Does a nice little chip to Snorlax. Not really, well, I take back what I said about huge damage, but still, the rate at which we can spam these out, plus the fast move damage, we're doing some damage. We're going to shield up to hopefully take switch. In comes Body Slam. We shield that up, and now we should be able to farm down. Come on, we farm down. That's good. In comes a Mamoswine, so now we're just going to throw the Dragon Claw. We don't really want to debuff ourselves. I was afraid if I debuff myself, I wouldn't be able to get to a second charge move. And we can't get there anyway, but we got the shield. So we're going to send in Excadrill. We are going to shield up this Avalanche because it would do huge amounts of damage. And we get to a Rock Slide. So luckily we didn't throw the Draw Run immediately. We overfarmed and we saw the switch and we threw the Rock Slide. Anyway, we're going to throw in the Togekiss, start charming down. These waterfalls are doing nice chips amount of damage, but it doesn't matter. In comes the Crunch. So that takes resisted damage. Now we have a nice little amount of energy, and now we just need to start charming away. This should be getting a shield. Hopefully this gets a shield. Mamoswine uses the energy on the Togekiss, and then Excadrill can finish the job. 1, 2. Alright, so we managed to get 2 charms. The third one won't register because we're about to get KO'd. In comes Avalanche. That takes us out. Can Excadrill farm down? We managed to one-shot down. Good game. Hopping into the next one, we have Excadrill into a Florges. So this is a brilliant matchup. They'll probably have a triple fairy moveset, assuming they're just running that. So we do resist all the fast and charge moves. And in comes the Draw Run. Does a nice chunk of damage. Florges is so tanky. I wish I had a good one. Anyway, they throw in Garchomp, so we're going to throw the Draw Run. And then we have the perfect switch for that Garchomp. Oh, I thought we were going to come in with Togekiss. But anyway, in comes Dragonite. I guess they're running Mudshot, so that was my thinking in the moment. Anyway, we shield up the Outrage. We could have just no-shielded anything with Togekiss. But anyway, you live and you learn. Now we have a nice little amount of energy. In comes Florges. We're going to start throwing out these Dragon Claws. In comes Dragon Claw number 1. Does a nice little chunk. In comes Dragon Claw number 2. We're not quite able to get there, and we're not going to bother shielding because we just come with Excadrill. Start farming up with that Mudshot. Oh, the Disarming Voice actually doesn't do as much damage as I thought it would. And I thought it would be in the Moon Blast anyway. In comes Togekiss. We're going to charm all the way down. Oh, almost all the way down. Even if this is the Moon Blast, I'm not really stressing. Togekiss has a nice amount of bulk to itself. Yeah, it does it just over half. In comes Dragonite. We're just charming away now. In comes the Ancient Power. Doesn't really matter if we get the boost or not here. Yep, we get a shield. We're just going to charm all the way down. We might as well throw the shield up. Yep, we throw the shield up. In comes Superpower. So now they're debuffed. These charms are doing even more damage. And that should be securing the win. Good game. Moving on to the next one, we have Excadrill into a Togekiss. So we do like this matchup. We can really spam out these Rock Slides. And we're not really fearing the Flamethrower or the Aura Sphere because it takes forever to get there with Charm. They really should have given Togekiss Fairy Wind. I think that would have been awesome if they gave it like the Roserade treatment where they give it like Fairy Wind and Aura Sphere, you know, like the charge and fast move. Oh, it would have been so good. Anyway, we're Mudshotting away. We're going to shield up here because we do want to take switch advantage. In comes the Flamethrower, so that definitely 100% would have KO'd. We throw one more Mudshot and we get to this Rock Slide. In comes the Rock Slide, takes out the Togekiss. What's going to come in next? It's the Garchomp. So we're going to try and get to a Draw Run. Hopefully this gets us a shield. In comes the Draw Run. Doesn't get a shield, but does a nice chunk of damage to that Garchomp. They farm down, but we have the perfect answer in Togekiss. Whatever they throw, barring a Fire Blast, we should be able to take it like a champion, and even if it was the Fire Blast, I still think we survive. So we're going to keep charming away. They unfortunately switch into a Metagross, which isn't the best matchup for our Dragonite. Obviously, the Meteor Mashes will be doing huge amounts of damage, and both of our moves are either resisted or neutral, and obviously debuffing ourselves, which isn't the best. But we're going to Dragon Breath away. We're going to throw up a shield, and hopefully we get to 2 superpowers. So in comes another Meteor Mash. We're going to farm. We're going to throw the Dragon Claw bait. Hopefully this gets us a shield, and then we'll try and get to a superpower. We get the shield, which is brilliant. We managed to get to the superpower. Dragonite coming in clutch. The OG pseudo-legendary dragon. Let's go. In comes Garchomp, and we almost Dragon Breath all the way down. In comes Togekiss. One more charm. As long as it's not a Fire Blast, in comes the Earth Power. The charm should register. Good game. Hopping into the next match, we have Excadrill into a Gyarados. It is a Dragon Breath Gyarados, which is really good for us. We're going to stay in here. We're going to start Rock Sliding away. Come on, Excadrill. Show us the way to the heavens. In comes Rock Slide number 1. By the way, do you guys notice that Excadrill can see the invisible and break the unbreakable? I don't know. Maybe it's just mine. Anyway, in comes Crunch. They switch into a Shadow Machamp, so we're going to switch into Togekiss, start charming away. It'd be doing massive damage, my god. Charms onto a Shadow Machamp are just massive chunks. Down goes Machamp. What are they going to switch into? In comes a Metagross, so we're going to try and get to the Aura Sphere. Unfortunately, we don't. That would have been fun. But we have the perfect answer. Even though we're down shields, we're at 2 Durarons, so those shields are about to burn up quick. In comes Meteor Mash. Now, they make... Oh, I think they made a quick switch, if my eyes didn't deceive me. No, they didn't switch, but we do get a shield. In comes the second Duron. We're overfarming. We're at 1.5 Durarons. This will begin the second shield. Let's go Exca. In comes Duron. Now, we're going to try and get to another one, but we make a quick switch into Dragonite. They're bullet punching away. This Meteor Mash should almost KO us. I think we survive with a few HP. Yep, just above the yellow. We get to a Superpower. This should be taking out the Metagross. In comes Superpower. Dragonite flexes a little bit. Down goes Metagross. In comes the Gyarados. Can we get to the Rock Slide? One Mud Shot. We get to the Rock Slide. This should be securing us the win. Good old trusty Excadrill. Good game to the opponent. Thank you all so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. I'd really, really, really appreciate it if you liked, commented, and subscribed. Until next time, it's been Big Pup.